for AEW news.
Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
So Tony Khan has an important announcement. Phil Marks' important announcement. Dave Meltzer, dumb moment of the week, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're still going to make fun of Dave, though, on the live show, guys. Don't worry. He pops up all over the place, right? But either way, AEW CEO Tony Khan praises the iconic, timeless Toni Storm. He says, I think that she's an icon, and I think that the icon presence was always inside of her. And that's what I told her when we started this, that she has that presence. But she was at the time in her mid-20s, yet she had this timeless presence. Jesus Christ, dude. We get the timeless presence thing. He's going to take credit for her gimmick. You have this timeless presence. Okay, she was in her mid-20s. I mean, maybe she's in her 30s now, but how many years has she been in AEW? And she's an incredible wrestler. She's so charismatic, and the fans respect her. The transition she's made to timeless Toni Storm, she's found the classic movie star inside of herself, and she's become the first wrestler, not only of all the AEW stars. We're on TBS, we're on TNT, but also the first wrestler now to be on Turner Classic Movies. She is truly a timeless movie star. No, Tony, she's not truly a timeless movie star. A timeless wrestler and a great, great charismatic presence. Timeless Toni Storm is one of the biggest stars in wrestling, and she is one of the great reasons why AEW is having a great 2025 right now. And it's the tremendous, tremendous wrestling of timeless Toni Storm. Dude, now he's saying great twice. Like, great, great, tremendous, tremendous. Timeless, timeless. Presence, presence. So there you go. I do agree with Tony, though, in some regards there, right? Like, Toni Storm rules. Tony Khan, and if there has been any frustration with WWE counter-programming AEW, so he tells Going Ringside, we're having a great year. We've been able to stick and move, like a float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Adam Copeland's and Beekeeper too, did you know? He's like, we've been able to stick and move and make it work really well for us. There's always going to be tough competition, and in this sport, it's very tough competition. The kind of competition that makes you work really hard 52 weeks a year. And for AEW, we're having a great year. A great year. It's so great. We've been putting on great shows. The shows have gotten great ratings, great support from our audience. And we've really grown the audience in 2025. We're focused on how we can make AEW the best wrestling company. So I thought it was where the best wrestle. So now you're focused on how you can make it where the best wrestle. Great support from the audience. Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. The AEW audiences, like, it's shrunk tremendously, but they're like hotter for the AEW stuff. Like, it is their core audience for sure. I just think they should run way smaller venues. It's the oldest thing to say, but even tonight, I think they have like a 6,000 seater and there's 3,000 people. Well, 3,000 is actually a good house for AEW in 2025. In the latter part of 2025, in the scope of where they started and they are now, it's like, holy, what happened to these 10K seaters and stuff? So 3K strong for a Dynamite, but like, why are you in a 6K seater or a 10? You go to these 20K, so you're like, why do that? Because all the stars need dressing rooms, and all the stars, quote unquote, and all the different talent that are making obscene amounts of money, and it's just easier for Tony to have an office and I just think that's what it is. People can park there, have the bigger parking lot, the back entrance and all that. That's got to be what it is at this point. He's admitted basically as much earlier this year. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. Tony Khan, like, he's putting it over, but he always does this thing where he just doesn't really give an answer and he beats around the bush. And even when he is kind of being direct, you feel like he's like a politician, So we're having a great year. And then he's like, the shows have gotten great ratings, great support from our audience. Prove they've gotten great ratings. We've grown the company. Prove you've grown it. Like, you prove that. No one's really seen that. We've all just seen everything trending downwards and the lowest numbers in history. And you can say, well, everyone's on max, but there's just no proof of that. And man, you know what they say, dude. Poor people don't like AEW either. So
poor people don't like AEW.
And that's why their tickets are way cheaper than WWE's, which is now a talking point. Oh, families should go and watch. You notice Dave doesn't talk about that either. He doesn't use that as one of his grand Meltzer spins of like, oh, it's more family friendly, because that's like egg on his face. Now, maybe he will just flip and say it. I wouldn't put it past him, but that's just more egg on his face. Like, he has said so many times, like we have it on the soundboard, low IQ, poor people like WWE, trailer trash, rednecks, as they call them. There's more than meets the eye. So these trailer trash rednecks, Brian, who like WWE. I've seen people. So Meltzer said, "What says? I've seen people on Adderall, Coke, and MDMA all at the same time and not look so weird." Oh, come on, that's not very fair. And then here's another great one. I've used that in my thumbnails a few times. I agree with Meltzer said. What I mean, we've discussed this. He just seems like a square. I don't think he's partying. Like, we've discussed it on this show. Who hasn't tried or done cocaine or whatever, right, in their lifetime? Is he doing it and going on TV? I don't even think he'd get down like that. I don't think Tony's that hardcore, I just think it's like Starbucks and Adderall. That's what every famous person uses pretty much now. And Ozempic. No. So this is insane. This is less than GCW, Hog Wrestling, and most indie shows, right? This is from this guy 1214. This guy 1214 says AEW's in the shitter. So this guy Chad Mins or Mine says, listen, if you can't afford 20K tickets to WWE, you can always sit front row at AEW for $24. Holy shit, dude. $24. Imagine if they made a family-friendly show right now that was like geared more towards kids, and kids going, oh yeah, we want to go see Orange Cassidy and shit. Imagine what they could do, the damage they could do, and how they could reinvent themselves and stuff. Tony Khan, come on down. $24, man. You can sit in the front row at an AEW show. So that's pretty awesome. One AEW 50% promo at $24. I mean, that's the affordable option right now. However, AEW doesn't go to as many places. They don't run house shows. They would benefit right now from running goddamn house shows, man. But Tony's not going to do that. And so I don't want to hear anybody being like, oh, they're the fucking family-friendly company, or they're the company that, it's more affordable. So it's called supply and demand is what this is. Because this is the problem with all of these fucking AEW whatevers in their fucking names, okay? If the goddamn tickets for AEW went up to $104,000 for the front row, the sickos would be like, the top company, supply and demand. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear complaining about WWE's ticket prices and shit. Honestly, I don't, because people are still fucking buying them, okay? And that's the name of the game. I mean, it sucks for the average person like you and I, but at the end of the fucking day, it is supply and demand. And if the shoe is on the other foot, the sickos would be like, oh, fucking, this is incredible, dominating the fucking market and everything, But AEW has an opportunity here, man. Front rows are 24. You have an opportunity to actually become the family-friendly company, to swoop in, maybe not turn the TV ratings around, but turn the attendances around. Here's the thing, too. The fucking streaming numbers and ratings and shit don't even matter if the attendances are down as well, because you're a live touring. We beat this to death on this show as well, dude. You're a live touring entertainment show. The whole idea is this show is like the commercial to sell you on this pay-per-view we're eventually going to sell, and to draw a big house. So it's like, if the TV ratings are way up and you're running out of a fucking, a factory, you're running out of a fucking gym, but the gym's full every single week, and the TV ratings are up, and you're charging a little bit more on your tickets, that's awesome. That's a W. Or if you're a touring show, and maybe the TV ratings are weaker, but you're fucking drawing houses everywhere you're going, okay, then fuck the TV ratings. Maybe everyone is watching on streaming, then that's a W. And it's like the fact that this has to be explained to sick, because you see people debating this shit like, oh, this is it's more affordable. Yeah, but it doesn't mean people want to buy them. They're $24 because people don't want to buy this shit. Jesus Christ, Why does this need to be explained to motherfuckers? So Velveteen Dream had criticisms of AEW recently, and he said that they're inefficient at booking and there's a lack of structure. And Velveteen Dream says, I watched this segment with Anthony Bowens. Dream said, quite frankly, I'm tired of sitting at home watching professional wrestling and watching them not do it as efficiently as they possibly could. So I'm watching AEW and they take too fucking long to get to the finish. I'm watching this show and these guys really don't know how to fucking put together a wrestling show. So there's Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. I'm watching these guys attempt to put on some compelling television and it's just not hitting. They took too long to get to their finish. They're telling too many stories in a match. Are you going to tell the story of Max Caster and Anthony Bowens getting back together or not? In another segment, I don't understand why you bring 6 guys out on TV just to get them squashed. It does nothing for the talent. It devalues your show, and it devalues any value you put on it. It devalues any value you put on it. It devalues any value. That's too many values, brother. There is a such thing as way too many false finishes. And I think these guys could be a lot more efficient if they had some leadership and some experience in their corner that they actually listen to. Maybe the shows would be conducted in a way that wouldn't disappoint the masses. Now, I'll give Velveteen Dream this. Like, I don't know. This isn't going to get everyone in your corner, but I'll give you this. This guy would know, like, he's an uber Mark fan who actually did make it, was going to get a massive push, had John Cena posting about him and shit. And he fucked it all up. I'm not talking about his personal life. And I'm not saying I'm not even entirely glazing his opinion here. But at the same time, like, this guy watching wrestling would know about people like not having veterans in their corner. Like, okay, there's clearly nobody telling you like how to do this correctly and shit. He would be able to identify that just because of like the system he was in. Oh, but that's the PC system brainwashing. Okay, that's what draws money. That's what gets John Cena posting about you. It's nobody's fault but creative and booking and shit that Kenny Omega's less popular now than he was in fucking New Japan and shit like that. That's only on creative and like this way the TV show is put together, wrestling included. So anyways, Velveteen says maybe the shows would be conducted in a way that wouldn't disappoint the masses. They need more reps in the training facility if they even have one in AEW. Damn, man. In aid catering to the wackos here, huh? Trying to work his way back in through the wackos, dude, into the fucking PC or what? He says in AEWs, there's a miscommunication and misunderstanding. It just tells me that you're either allowing the talent to book their own segments or your producers really don't know what they're doing. It's the honest truth. So moving along here, the Blade provides an update 1 year after his spinal fusion surgery. Now, I always liked the Blade and the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny. I thought that they could have done more in the tag division for sure. Like they could have been your heater fucking heel team that just gets all the heat and they wear these weird masks and they're your own guys. And the reason I say a lot of people laugh at that too. And it's like, no, dude, they weren't on TV. Like nobody saw them until they were on AEW TV and nobody really looked like them on any other show, and they could have used that to their advantage to build characters, to build stars. Maybe they're not stars, but maybe they're the fucking gatekeepers of that division. You go through them and stuff. And I had high hopes for Private Party and a lot of these teams, and it's unfortunate that Blade... Well, I mean, I think these guys are up in age a bit, and I think they're all good, like, in their lives. I think they made good money and stuff, and I think the Butcher's, like, in a successful metal band or some shit like that. But Blade had back fusion surgery. He says, I had a back fusion spinal. My back spinal. I broke my back. My back is broken. On September 10th of 24, it's been about a year now, and I'm getting close to going back to doctors, getting cleared, the whole thing. AEW fucking took care of my surgery. They took care of my physical therapy. Like, they've been taking care of me for like over a year now. I'm really, really grateful for that job. And that's courtesy of Talking Shop with the Good Brothers there. No doubt, man. And good on Tony Khan. Like, if he likes you, man, he'll take care of all your shit. You know, if you sign there and don't go to and choose them over the Fed, like he'll pay for your school and all this stuff. It's almost like Tony Khan hires people and then pays them and incentivizes them to not be on TV in a weird fucking way. Honestly, it
Best
seems
guys,
like,
Tony Khan.
no, you go to school. No, you get your back fixed on my watch and all this shit. But then when you get in a fight with the Bucks and shit backstage, and you may or may not have hurt or strained pre-existing injuries, and you know CM Punk fucking gets left at a train station before, and he fights Jack Perry, and his medical doesn't get paid for or whatever. So, you know, it just all depends on where you lie in Shadow, Butcher, and Blade, because Tony loves them. He has an affinity for them. So Dynamite 6-year anniversary this Wednesday will be a 2.5-hour special. Just get rid of Collision and make a 3rd hour Dynamite. I've been calling it forever. It's coming. It's incoming. Okay. There will be a 3-hour Dynamite. The sickos will praise it. Yeah, 3 hours more wrestling. And Collision will go away. Or maybe move to Thursday and just become 1 hour. And you can go against TNA or whatever the fuck you want to do over there, or just stay on Saturday, but just be 1 hour. I think Collision's on Thursday tomorrow as well, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check in with that. So the AEW and Official League collection is live now. It's a limited edition collaboration uniting AEW stars and USL soccer clubs. It's available now online with select items from shopaew.com and the full collection in each club's team store. Get yours while supplies last. So you have the Pittsburgh Hounds. They collabed with Claudio. If there's any hooligans in the chat, any footy fans, Zom, it's raw, right? Any of you motherfuckers in there in the chat that want to pipe up, let me know. Is this stuff cooking or what? There's barbed wire on the bottom. You have Orange Cassidy, the Orange County Soccer Club, and it's just like very minimalistic merch. It looks like a fundraiser for like a kids thing. Why wouldn't they? I don't know, dude. The Orange Cassidy shit doesn't work. You can't just whip him out and be like, here's some fucking merch. I don't know, dude. They could have done way more with this guy, pushing him as like the children's guy that they get behind and are like, oh, we love Orange type thing. And instead they like really booked him for like a year and a half as a serious wrestler, taking everyone to the limit, bleeding, fucking wrestling Moxley and all this shit. Is just ridiculous, man. They really fumbled that. I think Cassidy's one of the greatest fumbles in AEW history, and some people might be like, that's insane of you to say that. But I truly believe he was their play at like, how do we get the children? Instead, it was like grown man children buying his merch, and they're like, well, he moves merch. So Bandidos Locos with the lightning bolt, okay? The El Paso Locomotive FC. And it's got like a Thunderbolt stripe on there. Interchangeable with Thunder Rosa's gear. No. Moving along here. So Women's Blood and Guts is finally happening on Collision. It's announced that we're going to get women's War Games, and I think there'll be 2 Blood and Guts matches in one, or the women the only ones getting it, because it'll be so funny if they go WWE style and do a men and a women's Blood and Guts. And I'm glad that the women's Blood and Guts is finally happening. However, they had that with the Outcasts or whatever when Saraya debuted and she's with Storm and Ruby and they're putting together this group. That's when they were supposed to do it, man. They waited all this, right? Like Britt Baker was still around, and I think there was like an angle where Britt Baker watched someone get caned or whatever, or Britt Baker caned someone, and for whatever the fuck was going on. You had heat on Britt. You had Saraya was doing her thing. She just came in. It's like, that was the time to do it, man. And instead, they just waited so long. They're doing it. They announce it on Collision. And then they just sort of throw together the participants. Like, it's just really random. Tony thinks like, we've got so many women now. Let's add titles and now do a Blood and Guts. Like, no, dude, the more shit you add, the more stipulations. And see, this is what people have to understand about being creative and writing shit, okay? Like, let's say you're writing a superhero character or something. Limitations are a good thing. Like, okay, let me give you a wrestling example. When Cody Rhodes is like, right away, he lost that match and he's like, I can't challenge for the world title ever. Why? Well, because it's a story piece. Like, it's something that limits you. The more of those things you add, the more limited you are. However, it's a device that you can work around that can create intrigue or, you know, add an extra layer of nuance, something that goes without saying, you know. It doesn't matter how many wins Rhodes got. You can't challenge for that belt. Oh, it's wrestling. You can go back. Exactly. Just like in comic books, someone dies, you can bring them back to life. We all know, right? The more things you add, the more limited. Tony thinks like, oh, the more free. Now I can just like throw women's tag matches together and all this shit. No, now you have to do something about it. Like, now you have to book a women's tag division and flesh it out, or else people are going to shit on it. You limited yourself more by doing this. You need to remove some of these restraints you put on yourself, i.e., what I've suggested. Dude, get rid of all these Ring of Honor belts, merge them with your AEW ones, and then like reinvent Ring of Honor as like your developmental system. Get it away. Don't even let us know who's on that roster. You know, do your own invasion thing. Well, people would shit on it because NXT and TNA are doing their thing, their showdown. And so it's too late for that. He should have did it early on. Like, get rid of some of these belts so you're not restrained so much. Let some of these guys out of their deals. Don't just scoop everybody up. Don't just sign Ace Austin. Didn't he lose his debut match and then now he's just nowhere to be found again? Like, why handcuff yourself? Now people can go, why the fuck aren't you using Ace Austin? Ace Austin would have been a pivotal player in the TNA NXT invasion. He'd be like the Stone Cold, the guy who switches sides. And is he signed to NXT or is he signed to TNA? Were the dirt sheets right? Is his contract up? You'd have all the sheets like, no, his deal's really up. Oh, it could be a work, Brian. Think about it. But instead, Ace Austin signs, and I'm don't mean to shit on Ace Austin, but it's like he signs to AEW, and then what came up to where all of a sudden he has one match, he's just disappeared. You know? So, like, by Tony Khan doing this, he just handcuffs himself more, adding more titles. It doesn't liberate you, Tony. It doesn't make your job easier. It makes it way fucking harder. And you need to listen people who are trying to, like, liberate you, like, cancel Collision. Why? Because I need you to just focus on fucking Dynamite. I just need you to figure out how to format a 2-hour show and to figure out what people actually folks want to see on TV. You haven't done that yet in 6 years, bro. We just need that first. Okay? And then we can, like, let's get back to drawing fucking houses like you were before. What happened? So, Women, Blood, and Guts. I mean, I advocated for it a long time ago. If you go rewind this show, I was like, why aren't they doing it? They're building to it clearly. They fucking got to do it. He waits so long on everything. The Acclaimed, he waited too long to put the tag titles on them. Private Party, too long to put the tag titles on them. Swerve as well, when he won the championship, everyone kind of thought he was gonna. And then and then they wait too long to where like the internet's complaining about it. Then they put it on Swerve. And then they don't give him a homecoming. They give Moxley a homecoming on Dynamite for winning the New Japan title in Japan. They just can't help it. Like Velveteen Dream said, not to put him over, but they just undermine themselves all the time. They devalue their value, brother. They devalue their value, revalue, valuation, brothers. So we have more here. Scattered empty seats. Some Tony Khan cringe. I think he's doing here. So Tony Khan's this is what Tony Khan's trying to do. He's trying to create an atmosphere like NXT where they're all going to sing songs and do karaoke and dance and have a good time. But Tony Khan's like, the best movie's Time Cop. Or like he's playing this song and everyone's like, no, dude, this show's already gone on 4 hours. We're walking out. You're here dancing and like putting your fist in the air. Yeah, Free Willy. And he's singing it in the mic. I belong to West Virginia. You know what I mean, man? This is embarrassing, dude. This is really embarrassing. West Virginia. And the crowd, like, this is from In the Crowd video, and you can't even hear the crowd. And he thinks he's going to create this, like, atmosphere of, like, the people dancing in NXT during the tapings in between the commercial breaks and shit, or, like, before the show goes on the air, or, like, because they do the Evolve tapings, and then there's in between, then they do NXT. And he thinks it's going to, like, create that vibe. Oh, between Collision and ROH tapings. And it's not creating that vibe, dude. It's fucking, he just wants to be, someone in WWE give this guy a job, man. He just wants to be WWE so bad, but he won't admit it. And him and Dave really think that just one day, someone other than them, like, this is the problem. Tony Khan's supposed to be the guy who, like, sees some crazy shit and invests a bunch of money in it, and then it works or it doesn't. But he, like, has all the money, and he's hoping that, like, Triple H sees an Ospreay match that blows him away, and he goes, listen, guys, we just want to work together with you. Or something. That's what Dave thinks, that if, like, Dynamite came on instead of Monday Night Raw, everyone would just be like, oh my God, it would still be number one on Netflix and shit. Everyone's minds would be blown and they'd be fucking AEW fans the next day. It's just not realistic. Hologram suffered a knee injury on Wednesday at the show in Pittsburgh. It was to the same knee, rather, that kept him out of action. When examined, it was worse than expected, and he will be out for the rest of the fucking year. And I mean, that's courtesy of Dave.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
That could, I mean, it's likely true because, you know, Hologram's his fave. Adam Copeland has been cast in The Beekeeper 2, starring Jason Statham, which is fucking huge and awesome. And again, man, I think there's other Copeland news here. So Adam Copeland, Bebe, they're saying has, they're saying that it's 2 years since his debut in AEW. So that means he either has the time he was injured left on his deal, or he picked up an extra year and he has 1 year plus the injury time left on his deal. So we probably won't see Cope for a while in WWE, is my guess. And after you break your leg like that too, I mean, you probably pick up that extra year. No, I don't know when they come to negotiation on that or whatever, but or they agree to that or whatever. But yeah, it could just be his injury time left, then he's free to go, or it's 1 year plus his injury time left. Okay. As far as him back in WWE, I mean, they'll let him go do his movies and TV shows and stuff. They'll let him do that now. But again, does he want to be in a place where Triple H and Shawn Michaels are like his bosses? I don't know if Edge is really down with that. Speaking of down with that, I don't know why that's a transition, but Britt Baker's AEW contract should extend. Speaking of contracts, could extend to 2027 with added up injury time. Yeah, I'm like fairly certain it is in 2027. And Copeland's will go till 2027 as well. And that's why I've told you guys 2025, expect like the exodus of AEW. It's slowed down, it's quieted up, but I was spot on. And I told you guys, and 2027 is going to be a wild one. Hey, I heard you were a wild one. For people, I think, in WWE and AEW, I think 27 will be fun. Dynamite, well, that is if Tony Khan's even on TV anymore. Let's be honest. So Awful Wrestling Post, Dynamite celebrates their 6th year tomorrow in a theater with less than the minimum 2,500 seats sold. Their first show had 14K in an NBA arena. That's not growth, that's a free fall. Yeah, dude. Oh, God, like what happened? Reduced capacity. Yeah, so this is what I read earlier, right? It's approximately 6,600 seats. But the reduced capacity is 25, and they couldn't even... No, I think they did. They sold like 3,000 some tickets. But again, Awful posted this like 2 days ago. So just getting the current ticket map update, I believe they did exceed 3,000. Now, whether Tony's papering these houses or not, that's up for debate as well. I would not be shocked if we found evidence that he was, if there isn't evidence of that already. Anthony Bowen says there were times he thought he'd lose his job in AEW because of Max Caster. So people don't understand what I went through backstage with Max. I can't be any more genuine. There were times where I thought I was not going to have a job anymore, and that is terrifying as somebody who has always dreamed of being on television, being on Dynamite, wrestling every week, and then to come to work and potentially have that ripped away for something that you didn't even do. That's a petrifying thought. And that's what I lived with every week, tagging with this guy, because I'm not going to get into it. There was just occurrence after occurrence after occurrence after occurrence where I was cleaning up this guy's mess. Yeah, so it's just, and it's funny, TNA Wrestling's trending, and so is Jada, but AEW's not right now, and their show's about to come on in 5 minutes. But Max Caster was dropping bars about the Biden and Trump administrations and stuff, right? Like he makes fun of like both political sides, and he was saying like shit about celebrities and really sus stuff and really like borderline, oh shit, can you say that on TV stuff? And I love the Acclaim. I really did. But again, I think they kind of fucked it up, and there should have just been a tag story that lasted a little longer, and they should have split them up. They shouldn't have rode the scissor me daddy ass thing into the ground. Like, they should have removed Billy Gunn from the group, maybe switched them back heel, had Bowens split off, and then push Bowens as a singles a little bit more. I think he has tremendous upside. He's on like every red carpet. He does all these red carpets. He's always with celebrities. It's like, where the fuck is this guy on your TV show? You know what I mean? Jesus. But it's because him and Caster got over on their own, and Tony Khan just, anybody who gets over on their own, he just doesn't fuck with for some reason. So again, here's the, oh no, they didn't even do 2,000. September 30. So they didn't even do 3,000. I stand corrected, and I apologize. I think I was trying to correct Awful there, but I actually fucked up. The price is wrong. He's right. They didn't. I was looking at a different show. I'm sure it'll come up in the bookmarks. It was one I commented on. You guys can look on my Twitter. I quote tweeted and was like, well, 3,000's a good house for AEW now, but that's not saying much. I kind of took a shit on them. So you guys can go find that tweet on my Twitter, or perhaps it's bookmarked here, but no, Awful is right. And maybe, well, this is just for the Collision tomorrow. Yeah. So I think at this Dynamite, they have 3K. So they're doing Collision tomorrow, not taping it after Dynamite. That's why I'm getting confused. Either way, they haven't even done 2K tickets sold for this venue. That is fucking terrible, dude. So why is Collision airing tomorrow as well? I'm curious about that. Or are they just taping it and then airing it on Saturday? I'm curious. But dude, that is fucking terrible. Jesus. Moving along here. All AEW All Elite VIP. So some positive news about AEW. The Wes 1984 says, while everyone is trying to justify $200 for nosebleed seats for WWE SNME in December, bro, it's John Cena's last match. Hey, it's Kiss's last ever fucking show. And they got the whole band back together. The OG band, and it's their last show ever. And Ace Frehley's there. He's not on drugs and shit, allegedly, right? Oh man, 200 for no. It's not justifying anything. It's Cena's last match. Okay, so Conrad Thompson, I know he wasn't charging that much for Flair's last match, but this is a Cena who can actually go still. Okay. I just got, so for some reason this guy makes it about WWE, which is cringe, but he goes, I just got my AEW Blood and Guts ticket with All Elite VIP sitting entrance aisle row 2 seat 1 for just over 600. Premium ringside for WWE is in the thousands. Suck it. No, it's not suck it, stupid. Like, you got no likes on this, bro. You got no likes on this. Tagged everybody, added everybody. No likes. How the fuck does that happen? Because your take is ass, the Wes, okay? It has nothing to do with WWE. WWE, it's supply and demand. So the VIP experience for WWE compared to the AEW VIP experience is night and day. Night and day. And that's just what it boils down to. And then, like, suck it. See, these people just want to hate WWE. That's all it is. So AEW's Toni Schiavone names his top 5 wrestling moments. 1, Hulk Hogan turning heel. 2, Ric Flair leaving WCW. 3, WrestleMania 3. 4, Crockett buying TBS time slot in 85. 5, a huge leap in time here. Bayley versus Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Even that, like, he couldn't have even lied and said, oh, you know, man, the best
guys, Tony Khan.
Like, he couldn't even, Toni Schiavone, the best guys, Toni Schiavone. He couldn't even lie and be like, oh, it was when, like, Danielson came back to wrestling or something. Bayley versus Sasha at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. 0 fucking AEW anything anywhere. I think that's pretty funny. So Tony Khan believes AEW will still be going strong in 2035 and beyond. Toy Story 5's coming out. To infinity and beyond. Am I right, guys? So Tony's like, I always look forward to these anniversaries, both as milestones and as opportunities to think about the future. 10 years from now, at the 16-year anniversary of Dynamite. Oh, that's so cringe to say. I believe AEW will still be going strong. Our goal is to continue as the place where the best wrestle for many years to come. Talking about in 10 years, 2035. You don't even know what's going to happen on your show 10 days from now, Tony. Okay? I would just relax on this whole 2035 talk here. All right? So here is the show I was talking about tonight. I brain farted and I thought that Collision, like usual, was being tacked on or taped. They were going to like air half an hour extra of Dynamite, then tape Collision after or whatever. And so I thought the venue that Awful was talking about earlier, he was speaking about this one that did 3,300, right? But no, he was actually talking about this shitty Collision that has 1,700 tickets sold, which, goddamn, that is terrible. That's terrifying. But this place here, man, it holds 6,000 people. There's 6,000 seats on the map, 6,100, and they sold 3,300. Like, why? Like, here's the thing, man. If you can sell 1,000 tickets for more money, let's say, and then the 3,000 tickets you sell for less money, then everybody walks out, or you have to paper the house a bit, or it costs you way more in building fees and all that. Union workers that you fucking cheap out and sue you in the end or whatever. You want to avoid all that. Maybe just run a smaller building, charge a little bit more for the tickets because the sickos who are going to go are going to go. Just everything seems a little ass backwards, but I digress. Speaking of ass backwards, Tony Khan believes the Young Bucks are currently the best they've ever been and have been better and fresher than ever in 2025. Again, man, I just vehemently disagree. They go to Japan, they come back, all of a sudden they're different. And now they're being the elite skits on Dynamite, and I just don't think it's going to win people over. They've turned so many people off. You can't run with the Bucks. You can't have the Bucks doing a silly video package before Dynamite. Only the being the elite fans are watching that. Okay? Nobody else cares or gives a fuck what's going on. So Tony Khan says, I think Matt and Nick came back fresher and better than ever in 2025. And that's coming from someone who's been on the receiving end of the most deadly move in pro wrestling at their hands. So I'm probably the last person who should be out here singing their praises. This guy really is marking out for himself, being like, I took the deadliest move in pro wrestling. And he says, however, I'll be the first to say that the Young Bucks are a huge part of AEW. They were one of the major reasons we were able to launch the company 6 years ago. They've been involved since the very first Dynamite, and when they came back in shocking fashion this past April at AEW Dynasty, after several months away, I think they started doing the best wrestling of their AEW careers. In my opinion, dude, they're doing the same old shit, just slower. They're wrestling at the highest level today, and what's happening with their on-screen lives has been fascinating. I entirely disagree, man. They lost EVP status. It's meant nothing. They're still booked in matches. They're still like working their way into title shots. And all that's happening is people are fucking with them, fucking with their trons, fucking with their thumbtacks, got production to put gummy bears under the ring, fuck with their t-shirts and stuff. Like, that's just all stupid, goobery little kid shit. In my opinion, okay, so their humanity, their vulnerability, no, dude, they seem incredibly inhumane and they seem invulnerable. Like, it doesn't matter what you do to these guys. They won't go away. No lessons learned. Now, maybe they've been getting fucked with and they're building up to something, but you have to understand it's just very elementary. Like, no one really cares. They're a turnoff to wrestling fans, okay? To the masses. The fans have always engaged with and been interested in the Young Bucks. I disagree. Matt and Nick are two of the most talented wrestlers in the world and people of great character. This year, I truly believe they're the best they've ever been. Yeah, well, Tony Khan's beliefs I think are out of whack sometimes when it comes to some of these wrestlers. But that was to Forbes. And to Forbes Sports and Wolken Rob, Tony Khan expresses his excitement over the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. He believes now is the perfect time to introduce them. Jesus. He says, I'm very excited about the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship coming to AEW this year. Throughout 2025, the women's division has been delivering more great matches and rivalries than ever before. And so many top stars have continued to emerge. With the roster at its strongest, the highest quality it's ever been, I think now is the perfect time to introduce the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Women's wrestling in AEW is the best it's ever been. And these titles will make it even stronger. See, that's the problem. He thinks that belts make shit stronger. He's one of those marks, bro. Holy fuck, man. You can't own the wrestling company and think in 2025 that the belts automatically make everything stronger, dude. Now you're backed into a corner booking-wise. Now you have to establish more teams, and then you have to just put them on two ladies that are going to be shelved because you're going to need them in all these fucking four-ways and shit that you keep doing all the time. And you're going to need to separate them for Monet and Stat, and then whatever Tony's doing now. Maybe Tony becomes a tag champ or whatever down the line with someone, but he fucked up and he's like, now's the perfect time. I don't know, man. When you had Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa, who's just leaves Japan, signs to ROH, you slapped an ROH women's title on her. Now she just wrestles matches randomly on Collision and four ways and shit. And you're just forgetting about her, even though she was over. You had her, Mariah May, Toni Storm. That could have been, maybe you launch it with Mariah May and Toni Storm being tag champs, and then you build a division around them. Just a thought, just an idea. But now it's like, okay, you're going to put them on like Monet and her random partner. Camille comes back. No, she's got heat, allegedly. But Monet and her partner, and then like eventually Julia Hart and Sky Blue are going to get them. Okay. But then who else is looming? Like, what other teams are being, like, Statlander's got some friends. She teams with Willow and shit like that, but she's the fucking women's world champion now. So I don't know. We'll see. But he's just sort of booked himself into a corner. The best guy. Okay. This is a new segment on the show called The Best Guys.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Okay, so here's 2 minutes of Tony Khan, ladies and gentlemen. And look at how he's dressed, man. Oh, I'm in my white tux. I wonder if this is his new gimmick. Do you think he wears this every show or he gives up on it? Well, you know, I love Time Cop. However, my second favorite film is James Bond, Casino Royale. It's a tremendous film. Oh my God, dude. This is absolutely phenomenal, dude. Tony Khan, he's confirming it here. The snowman. They call me the snowman on the streets. Dude, this is my Kingpin White. I run these streets, motherfucker. I'm not going to take this shit. The Friday Night Wars. The Friday Night Gang Wars. Holy shit, man. I'm Vincent D'Onofrio in this bitch. Call me the Kingpin. Wilson Fisk, motherfucker. Trick or treat. This ain't a Halloween costume, bitch. We pulling up. Working hard for the yayo. Fucking Scarface, dude. Tony Yayo, man. Oh, shit. Holy fuck. It's too good to be true. This is too good to be true. I have to screen grab this shit. Oh my God. Thank you so much for making me aware of this, dude. Working hard for the yayo. Oh, let's listen to this, okay? So let's check in with what the best guy had to say today in his best suit. For sure.
Hi. Tonight is going to...
I can't even play. Hi. I'm high. Say hello to my little friend. All you fucking haters and wackos. Tony Montana. Oh, shit.
Hi.
Oh, man.
Tonight is going to be an awesome night. Tonight, just minutes from now, we're going live on TBS and on HBO Max. Tonight, we're celebrating the 6-year anniversary of Wednesday Night Dynamite. And I just wanted to come on here and thank all of you. I'm very grateful to the fans who made this possible. I'm also very grateful to everybody who's worked in AEW, whether it's back.
What the fuck? Anybody who's ever worked here, you know, John Moxley, like the Young Bucks, anyone, you know, like Andrade, I mean, not him, Rita Chatterton, I mean, not her either, you weren't supposed to know that one, CM Punk, I mean, and the Acclaimed, thanks for working here.
Very grateful to everybody who's worked in AEW, whether it's backstage, whether it's in Nashville in our production office, no matter where you work, in particular, the staff here and the pro wrestlers.
Sipping on a drink, sipping on a drink. I ain't trying to think, I ain't trying to think. Word to the bird, I ain't never take her for a shop in Montana. It's Tony Montana, dude.
AEW is where the best wrestle, and because of our great wrestlers and staff, we're celebrating the 6-year anniversary of Wednesday Night Dynamite just minutes from now. It's going to be an awesome, awesome night. We've got so much to look forward to. And we're also going to look back.
And I'm announcing the Casino Royale. I've got my Casino Royale jacket on because we're doing another Casino Gauntlet.
6 great years of AEW. I really appreciate you all.
I'm not going to lie, though. This is dripping. Like, he's drippy, dude. He can just buy a white tux. Like,
really appreciate our partners. TBS, we've been together for many, many years. Thank you for taking a chance at the very beginning on AEW. There's a great history of pro wrestling on TBS. It goes back to 1971. And thanks to all of you now, earlier this year, in our 6th year, AEW Dynamite
there's like a fucking AC on in that room. Just
became the longest running primetime pro wrestling show ever on TNT or TBS. And we're going live just minutes from now. We're going to have an awesome 6-year anniversary special.
Then after being my Uncle Boss Hog, we're going to chase down those two. I can't even. It's so fucking, he's so cute, dude. This is the shit that makes you just love Tony Khan, you know?
At 8 p.m.
I was bitter the other day. I'm sorry, Tony. I want to be friends again.
Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, top of the hour. We're just moments away.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tone. Can we be friends again, Tone?
I really appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us for this 6-year anniversary special. You can watch it on TBS or stream it on HBO Max, or you can do both.
And we got this new pink cocaine. You can, you can shove it up your ass, or you can snort it up your nose, or you can do both. What the fuck, dude? Some sicko sitting there. Yeah, dude. Okay, boss. I'm gonna fucking put it on my TV on TBS and then put on HBO Max on my fucking phone or something and watch it on both. Why? Don't even say that. Or both. His eyes are real wide.
However you watch it, it's going to be an awesome night. I really appreciate it.
He puts on Andrade's black skull mask. Andrade! Olay!
You all. And I promise you, this is going to be a great show.
I promise you, I'll get that Daredevil. Hell's Kitchen is mine. And I promise you, the name's Khan. James Khan.
You don't want to miss it tonight.
Tonight. Do, 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 do. He points at the fucking camera. Tonight. The fucking, the beginning of GoldenEye. Where the fucking scope. Blah. Oh, shit, dude. That's so good, man.
Don't want to miss it tonight.
Blah. Oh my god, dude. And Daredevil, you better watch your back. Oh fuck. Dude, he's like Wilson Fisk. He's like fucking Tony Montana. It's just there's so much going on here. It's great. He looks great. I love him. He's a cutie. Thumbs up. Just kidding. I'm a good guy. Oh man, what a sweetheart. I love that so much. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I guess was a segment called The Best Guy.
The best guy's Tony Khan.